Full set of MetalCloak. We got fender liners, fender flares. Over here we got the front fenders and then the rear fenders. These are the mod cut. So this is what I'm going to start with, is the rear, then I'm going to do the front, and then I have the rocker guards too. But so the first thing we got to do is remove the old fender. So some of you have bolts like me, they're 8mm, and some just have like little plastic tabs. So we got to remove all these and then we'll clean what's underneath. These, and they were kind of difficult at first because a bunch of them kept spinning because my Jeep is older. So what I did was I removed the fender liner, which is pretty easy. They're just a bunch of these little plastic clips like you can see right here, and there's some still there, and you can kind of just rip it off. It's pretty easy. And then from there you're able to get at the back of these bolts, and I have these little plastic nutserts, and you can just hold on to them and get them all off pretty easy. So now that I've got it off, the next thing I'm going to do is clean it and get rid of those old plastic plugs for the fender liner, and then we'll be ready to start the install. The stock fender off and clean. So first you're going to have 3 rivet nuts. See, there's one here, and one over here that you're going to need a 1/2-inch drill bit, and we're going to drill it out just to make it flush. So that way this new fender mount is flush with the body. And then the other thing is on TJ's, the end of it over here needs to be 3/4 of an inch from this line in the tub. So I just marked it with a piece of painter's tape, so that way we can line it up easier. And then, so once we drill these 3, we're going to put it up here and clamp it on so we can center punch our holes that we're going to drill. I bought some little touch-up paint here, and anywhere that I drill, if I expose any bare metal, I'm going to touch it up just so it doesn't rust. See, I've got it clamped. This is the mod cut one, so I'm going to trim the tub a little bit with a cutoff wheel. So I Sharpied the line so that way I can unclamp and then cut it. The holes here, after you center punch, you're going to start with an 1/8 inch for every one as a pilot hole, and then step up in size. All of them end up as 3/8, so I'd step it up in between there. Besides, there's one here and one over there that end up being a 1/2 inch, but the rest are 3/8. So we're going to start at a 1/2 and then go to I don't know, maybe a 1/4, and then the 3/8. Fully installed. So it comes with, there are 9 inch long bolts like this with associated nuts and washers. Then there's 2 countersunk like this, and then there's 4 let me get 1.25 which go here, these 2. Yeah, and that's per side, right? So all you pretty much do is line this up. If your holes aren't drilled exactly right, you're gonna have to drill out a little more. I had to do that for a few of them, and I put in the 9 first. So it's just bolt washer and nut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So once you're done with that, you put on these 4, but don't put them in all the way, and there's a bracket on the back that they mount up to. Once you have those, you can kind of drop on the flare, and then it slides right over. There's like a nub right here and here. Hand tighten these, the countersunk ones, and then tighten down the 4 1.25 inch, and then lastly tighten down the countersunks. It's pretty easy. My cutting job, as you can see, probably wasn't quite good enough, so I'm going to go back at it and try and cut a little more probably. But yeah, that's it. Pretty easy to install, and then it'll match up with the rock slider once we put that in a few weeks or so.